Hello, welcome to my channel. In this video, you'll be learning how to sew this double welt pocket with flap. Starting off, I have cut out the pieces that we're going to be using and I'm going to explain all of them to you. Our first piece is our pocket piece measured 20 by 8 inches. Next, I have these two pieces measured 4 by 8 inches that will be used in the creation of our welt. And they have both been ironed with soft paper gum. Next is the actual flap measured 5 inches by 5.5 inches and it's also been ironed with soft paper gum. For this tutorial, I'll be using the illusion of attaching the pocket to the back of a trouser. So starting off, I have a dart measured 7 inches. Next, I'll be marking 6 inches on the length of our dart because that's where our pocket will be sitting. Next, taking our pocket measured 20 by 8 inches, I'll be taking it at least 3 inches above that mark line and stitching the sides of it. I have stitched down the pocket at least from a 5 inches length from the top. Next, I'll be remarking our 6 inches at the back and at the front of the trouser. Working on the front or the back pattern of the trouser, I'm going to be taking our piece that is 4 by 8 inches and it is ironed, hence why those lines. So I'm going to fold it back into 4 and I'm going to notch the middle. Opening up that piece, I'll be placing the middle on the point where our 6-inch mark and that intersect. I advise that you pin down this piece. I have brought the view closer because at this point it gets delicate. Taking my tape from that middle point, I'm going to mark in 2.7 inches on the middle line. And I'll be doing this on both sides. Next, on the middle horizontal lines, we're going to be creating 2 parallel lines, top and above. And the total space between those 2 lines are going to be half of an inch. So from that middle horizontal line, we're going to be marking half of an inch up and half of an inch below, so that the total can be half of an inch. So this is what I mean. From that middle horizontal line up, we have marked half of an inch and below half of an inch. So now I'm going to stitch those 2 parallel lines. I have stitched those parallel lines. Ensure to measure the space in between those lines from the beginning to the end to make sure that it's equal. Now I'm going to be notching the main material. Before, we only notched our piece. So I'm just going to fold up the material from that notched middle point and just cut a little hole. Next, we're going to be cutting across our piece, our 4 by 8 piece, and I'm going to be cutting on that middle line. Next, we're going to open it up because we're going to be making markings inside it. In that opening piece, just 1 inch before our parallel line, we're going to mark it. So this is it, 1 inch before our parallel lines we marked on the trouser. And we're going to do this on both sides. Next, taking the scissors, we're going to put it in the notched middle of the trouser and cut all the way to our newly marked point. And we'll be doing this on both sides as well. From that 1 inch mark, you're going to cut a line towards the stitch point of the parallel lines, creating a triangle. I put a diagram on the screen for better understanding. From the 1 inch mark, you cut a line to meet the parallel lines, but you're not cutting over it. So this is what your pocket should look like. You should have those two triangles flapping out. Next, I'm going to put the split up 4 by 8 pieces through the slit on the trouser. This is a single welt flap, so the goal is to have those two 4 by 8 pieces appear neatly and aligned in front. Once you're done arranging it, go ahead and iron it. Next is to insert the flap. The pocket measurement in front is 5 by 5 inches. Bringing in our flap piece, I'm going to be folding it into 4 and marking 5.5 inches on the piece. 5.5 inches divided by 2 is 2.75. Opening up the second fold and having it folded once, I'll be stitching down the markings from top to bottom and then turning it over and ironing it. The flap is ready. Next, I'm going to show you how we're going to be inserting it into the welt. Next, I will be marking ½ inch on the top of the flap from left to right. This lets me know the exact mark I'll be sewing the flap. Next, I'll be inserting the flap into the pocket and arranging it neatly. I'm making sure that the ½ inch marking on the flap is above this line at the back of the pocket. I'm going to turn it over and show you where we'll be stitching down the flap. This is the 4 by 8 flap. We're going to be stitching just above that black stitch line. But before doing that, I'm going to ensure that the ½ inch of the flap is sitting well. I have stitched it down, so next we're just going to close up the pocket. Next, I'm going to be turning it over. Next, remember those cuttings that we did that gave us those triangle flaps on the side. We're going to be stitching it down on our 4 by 8 pieces, not on the trouser pattern, on the 4 by 8 pieces. I have stitched it down as you can see. Next, remember those stitches we made on the inside pocket that is 20 by 8 inches. We're going to be removing those stitches. Now that the pocket has been loosened, starting off with the lower 4 by 8 flap, I'm going to be turning the rough edge over and sewing on the pocket, not the trouser, the pocket. I'm going to do the same with the top 4 by 8 flap as well. I have stitched down those flaps. Next, taking the lower end of our pocket, I'll be connecting it to the waist of the trouser, and where the folding is, I'll be notching the sides. This part can be a bit tricky, so make sure to watch closely. Next, we're going to flip over the pocket as seen on the screen, and then we're going to stitch it down. Doing it this way, the rough edges is going to be on the inside of the trouser. I've gone ahead and done it on both sides. Next, I'll be unraveling everything. So this is what the inside pocket should look like. I'm going to go ahead and iron on it. Next, I'll be stitching the sides as well to hide those rough edges from the inside. So this is what I mean, just stitching down the sides as well, taking up very little space. Next, on the top layer of the pocket where our flap is, I'm going to be stitching down on the pocket, not on the trouser. This closes up the up area of the inside pocket. This is what I mean. This way every area is properly secured. Next, every other rough edge will be folded in and sewn, and then I'll be connecting the top layer of the pocket to the waist and stitching it down. That's it, your pocket is done. Trim any loose ends and you're good to go. Hope this tutorial was helpful and easy to follow. Check out my other pocket videos on the channel, and thanks for watching to the end. See you in the next video.